This week, we're talking about India. This is not the case for all of our trips, but in this specific case, we went on a mission to serve at an orphanage through a ministry called Building for Him India. We served at an orphanage or children's home in Southeast India, in a very rural part of Southeast India, in a town called Anantavada. Through Building for Him, we were able to connect with other ministries and other ways to help in India, and specifically with another orphanage in Hyderabad. So, number one, first recommendation of ways to help in India is serve children. There's a great need in India to help abandoned and orphaned children, and honestly, it was an incredible and life-changing experience. I also learned so much on my trip to India. It was wonderful in so many ways. The culture was so incredibly rich, and traditions and heritage and the diversity of people were incredible. So there's a couple of other things I want to share with you. First are the 5 things that I'm most grateful that I packed. The first is Tums. I don't know if that's a thing outside of the United States, but they're anti-acid tablets, and because the food in India is so spicy, it has such a depth of spice. It's really a different spice than I'd ever had before. It gave me acid reflux, and I was so grateful that I had Tums. The second thing are a good pair of old sneakers. I think it's so important to have a good pair of sneakers that you're comfortable in for walking around, for hitting the town, but also that you don't care because they're gonna get dirty, they're gonna get dusty, and so I was so grateful that I had closed shoes, that I had old sneakers. The third thing was not really a thing. It's more, I was happy that I had space in my suitcase. The textiles in India are absolutely amazing. They're so stunning. Everything from saris, pashminas, blouses, tablecloths was so incredible, it will blow you away. So you want to make sure, also everything is really reasonably priced. So you want to make sure that you have space in your suitcase so you can bring a couple of those things back. The last 2 things I was most grateful I packed have to do with being culturally respectful. And one way that you could do that is dressing appropriately. The last 2 things that I was really grateful I had were a plain button-down shirt, because whenever I wanted to just cover my shoulders if I was wearing a tank top, I had the option of just a button-down shirt. That's my favorite thing to take to cover my shoulders and feel more comfortable. The last are long pants and jeans. My first thought was, well, India's hot, especially the south, so I'll just take shorts. Well, shorts are not really a thing in India, and so I was really grateful that I had jeans and long pants to feel comfortable, and also because in the north of the country, in New Delhi, it was actually kind of cold, a little bit chilly, especially at morning and at night, so I was really happy I had the option of long pants. The top 3 things that I absolutely think that you can't leave India without eating are the following. Number 1, dosas. Incredible, crepe-like but crispier, large pancake type thing that are filled with either savory potato mix or cheese, usually have them for breakfast. They're amazing. The second is fresh naan. Everybody's heard of naan bread, fresh Indian bread, but you absolutely have to have it, a basket of it in India. And somebody on our trip recommended drizzling a little bit of honey on it as a sweet treat after our meals, and it was absolutely amazing. The third is sweet lassi. I didn't have this so much, but when I did, I absolutely loved it. It's a drinkable yogurt drink that's like a little bit sweet and just super delicious. Lastly, a big food tip is whenever you're at a restaurant and something may be too spicy for you, order a side of plain curd. It's basically yogurt. You put it on your food and it helps neutralize the crazy spice density and strength of the food, and it makes it easier for us Westerners to eat and to enjoy. So those are some of my favorite things that I learned in India. And lastly, I just want to share with you other ways that we found that we could help in India, obviously in addition to serving the children at the orphanage. Number 1 is minding the environment. That obviously is something you could do everywhere that you travel to, but especially in India, a place that has such a big problem with contamination, it's super important to just be mindful of your choices with the environment. The second thing is shop locally. This is not only to do good, but also do good to your own pocket. It's cheaper, you add more value to the economy, and the quality of the stuff is just as good. It's the same stuff that you get at hotel boutiques for 3 times the price. I'll leave here the information of my favorite shopping strip of local stores and vendors that we went to in New Delhi. And last but certainly not least, I kind of touched on this before, but cultural mindfulness. In a place like India with such a rich heritage and traditions, with such a varied group of beliefs and people, and so many different cultures together in one place, it's so important to be culturally humble and respectful of other traditions and other ways to see the world and life. I got so much joy from sharing with the children. It was such a fulfilling experience, life-changing, and I want to share some of that joy with you